So, guys, I was minding my own business yesterday. I get a phone call. It's the Venezuela vixen. Juliana Pena calls up and she says, "Hey, I need your help with something." Said, "I'm all ears, girl." She said, "Well, Amanda Nunes doesn't want to fight me." She says, "I deserve that fight. That should be my fight." She starts laying her case out to me, and she starts even breaking down all of the reasons that she can beat Amanda. And she had a more keen eye, right? I'm sure that wouldn't surprise you as somebody in the division who's studying and plotting to take on Amanda. She was breaking down, look, any problem that Amanda's had, any moments that she's lost, it has all come from the same style, which is a dominant wrestler, which is exactly what I'm going to do to her. And by the way, Julie was talking about herself. She said, "Go watch my fight with Valentina Shevchenko. I kick Shevchenko's ass and find my way into a submission." Now, I didn't remember that. I got to tell you, I just didn't remember that. I didn't remember the two of them fought. Oh, and by the way, I didn't know anybody kicked the Bullet's ass. So that got me interested. I'm listening a little bit, but I'm still not sure why she's making this argument. And I finally cut her off. I said, "Julie, let me stop you right there. I am of the opinion, supported by Ariel Helwani as earlier as today on ESPN, that you're going to be fighting Amanda. Are you here to tell me that that isn't going to happen?" She said, "Yeah, I don't have a fight with Amanda." I go, "Okay, but I can see you're on board. Is the promotion on board? Because Dana was putting you over at the press conference. I watched it myself." He goes, "Yeah, promotion's on board." I said, "Are you telling me that Amanda Nunes is refusing to fight you or anybody else? Are you telling me Amanda Nunes is privately backing down?" She said, "That's exactly what's happening." She says, "As a matter of fact, it's the third time." She said the first two times she had reasons. Julie laid this out for me. Okay, guys, I'm not passing a judgment here on Amanda. I'm sharing a conversation that was about Amanda. So if it sounds very swayed against, sure it was. It's a very biased conversation coming from Venezuela vixen who's hoping to take her on. But this was her side. It was very interesting to me. It was interesting enough that at the end of the call, I said, "Jules, I'm going to go make a video on this, but I'm going to say I spoke to you. I'm going to tell the people you just told me. Do I have that blessing?" She said, "Absolutely, but I think it's relevant because if Amanda Nunes ever turned down a fight, I feel as though we would all know." Turned out we didn't. And she said, "Chael, this is the third time. Let me tell you about the first two." So she coupled them together, and it had to do with UFC 200. And right after UFC 200, Amanda turned down the fight. But Amanda, according to Julie, had good reason, which was something along the lines that Julie was 1-1 in her last two, or she was 2-1 in her last three. It was something along these lines of, hey, her record's not good enough. She's not getting a hold of me. And Julie accepted it. She's like, I did lose that one. So something else happened on the path, and they tried to get these two together again, and Amanda had another reason to not fight her. Then Julie finally elected herself mayor of Get the Hintville, and started to realize, man, it doesn't have anything to do about my record. It doesn't matter who I beat or who I don't beat. She doesn't want to fight me. And all that did was fuel Julie, gave her a level of confidence, quite frankly. And she said to me straight up, "Listen, here's what I do well. Here's what she doesn't. I want to fight her. She's finding reasons to not fight me. But we're now at number 3. And at a very minimum, the people are going to know this story finally." I kept my mouth shut on the first denial. When she swatted me away the second time, I kept my mouth shut there too, because I thought her argument was fair. I thought that could go to anybody, boilerplate. Now I realize, no, it's significant to me. She sees something with me that she doesn't want to fight, and I want the world to know that. So I'm here to tell you that story. I can't confirm it for you. In fairness, I didn't talk to Amanda. I haven't talked to Dan Lambert today. I didn't ask these questions of Mike Brown. But it is very interesting, and I will just share from my own personal perspective. If Amanda Nunes turned a fight down, that would surprise me very much. That would surprise me. If Amanda turned a fight down because Amanda sees problems with some other athlete, that would impress me with that other athlete. When I watch Amanda, I see what you guys see. I see a rare greatness who, by the way, has a even rarer dominance. Everybody's champion. Every division has a champion. A dominant champion, my goodness, no. Amanda has the pool to herself, particularly in the absence of Khabib. I thought that we were going to see, before I got that phone call, I thought for sure we're going to see Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes for all of the obvious reasons. Not just competitively, but willingness. Juliana's the only one that showed up for the interview. Got a whole group of people, right? Somebody raise your hand. Let me see what I got to choose. One person's hand goes, I thought for obvious reasons, but now we're hearing, no, that's not the case. And we're also hearing, at least, hearing, I'm sharing something with you without the other side of it. We're hearing that it is because of a respect, and respect and fear are very close words, right? Respect is a good word in the fight business. Fear is not. When we hear somebody scared, we tend to pile on something. I think you're going to pile on. I think you're going to pile on and want to hear the rest of this story. I think you're going to want to hear from Amanda. But I think if you're like me, and that's the fight you assumed you were going to get, I'm here to bring to you, no, apparently it's not quite that clear. And apparently there is some resistance. It's not coming from the Amanda. It's not coming from the office, and it's not coming from the contender. It's coming from the champ. Allegedly. I will keep you posted.